Welcome back to another mobility session with me. Thank you for tuning in again. I appreciate it. Before we get moving into the movements, the only thing that I'm going to ask is just give this video a like and let me know what movement in the comments that you like the most. Today we're going to be focusing in on shoulders. My shoulders have been aching with these babies, so I personally need to do some more. The movements that I have listed for you, we're going to start off with 3 stretches. It is going to be the seated chest stretch. Wow, that's a hard one to say. The prayer stretch and the sleeper stretch. And then after that, we're going to do 2 active movement or mobility movements. And that's going to be Superman with retraction and wall slides. The only things that you're going to need today is a wall, yourself, and then a chair again. Very similar to the last shoulder mobility video that we did. Okay, so hopping straight into the movements. So the seated chest stretch, all you're going to need is just you. So you're going to sit down on the ground, put your hands behind your back, fingers pointing away from you. Right? I don't want your fingers pointed towards, fingers pointed away. And what you're going to do is you're going to scoot your butt up until you get a nice big stretch in the chest. Now, if you can, before we do this, when you're in that seated position, try to pull those shoulders back. So again, we're going to get ready to get started. So scoot forward, pull those shoulders back, keep on scooting until you get a nice big stretch. I'm going to hold that for 30. Let me get my timer. Hold on one second. Bear with me just a second. Okay. Big stretch. And we're going to hold it. So one thing I have found, especially while feeding babies, obviously I am not the mom, so I don't have the luxury. I hope my wife doesn't get upset with that, but I don't have the luxury of just setting them down and feeding them. I have to pretty much cradle my body over them, which honestly really sucks. Now granted, I'm a dude, so I don't have to feed them that often. I only have to feed them when she's not around. Come on out. So to all the moms out there, kudos to what you guys are doing. And if you guys are bottle feeding, kudos to that. But man, bottle feeding just sucks for your shoulders. And take a little break. We're going to do that one more time. Okay, you guys ready? Get into the stretch position. Find that stretch, find that stretch, find that stretch. And then we're going to start going again. Now, if you're watching this, obviously, I was giving you guys some time to find that stretch. I've done this one plenty of times that I know exactly what I'm trying to feel here. So you might see me wait to start my timer. I'm trying to give you guys a second or two to get into it. But again, you're trying to feel a big stretch in the chest, maybe in your biceps. If you can, try to pull those shoulders back. Focus on your breathing. And come on out of that. Nice and slow. And stop. Okay. The next one that we got is going to be that prayer stretch. So grab yourself a chair. Mine's right here, so I'm just going to flip this bad boy around. And then all you're going to do, again like we did in the last one, is you're going to put your elbows on the chair towards the edge. You're going to push your butt back. Bring your hands together. I'm going to take my mic off, so again, hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm going to put my hands together. I'm going to try to poke my head through my arms, take my thumbs, and try to touch my neck. You're going to hold that for 30. So let me get my timer. 30 seconds on the clock. And we're holding. So as you're doing this one, it should be a pretty big lat stretch. If you don't know what your lats are, that's like the side of your back. You should also feel kind of a big tricep stretch. As you do this, really focus in on the breathing. Oh man, yeah, this is pretty tight. Keep on going, just a few more seconds. And that's time right there. Come on up and take a break. Now, again, I hope I don't catch any flack to all the moms out there. There is nothing I can say and nothing that I can do personally that ever equates out to what you guys do. You guys are the real rock stars of the show. I am just simply saying that for myself, it sucks bottle feeding because my shoulders are in a lot of pain during and after feeding. But regardless, shoulders hurt and we can do stuff about it. So that's what we're doing today. Okay, let's do that one more time. I'm going to find that timer, get into your stretch position, and go. 30 seconds on the clock. So as you do this, the main goal is to try to push your head in between your arms, like what I'm doing right here. If you're watching this, you should be able to see my head poke through. I'm trying to see if I am. It looks like I am. As you do this more often, your head should be able to poke through further and further. And if you aren't able to, that's perfectly fine. Just lets me know, like, okay, you're pretty tight. You got some space to work with. Slowly. Come on, up. There we go. Okay, I'm putting this bad boy back on. So you can put your chairs away. Don't need them anymore. Oh. All right. Now, sleeper stretch. Sleeper stretch, I do have to preface, this can be a pretty brutal stretch. So I cannot stress enough, listen to your body. If you are feeling like you are hurt or if it is causing pain, skip this part of the video. Okay. This is not going to be an easy stretch. It is going to be a pretty tough one. But in essence, I'm going to start with my right shoulder. This is the shoulder that's causing me more problems. So I'm letting this one really dictate what I do to my left. Okay. So you're going to lay on to whichever side. I'm going to lay on to my right. Feet doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter at all. I'm just laying onto the side. My arm is directly up. I take my left hand, place it on the back of my right hand, and I'm going to lightly apply some pressure, right? So if I were to just go forward, that's what it would look like. I'm going to apply a little bit more pressure. Big thing here, don't let your shoulder come up off the ground. So I'm going to hold that for 30. And timer's going. Now, one thing that you can do to make this a little bit more comfortable, as you can tell, I'm just resting my head on my shoulder, but you can have a pillow, which I actually have a pillow on my chair. Just kind of lazy, don't want to grab it yet. But you're just going to hold this. And then if you did have that pillow, you can just rest your head on it. It makes it somewhat more enjoyable. This is not a super enjoyable movement. Now, as I'm doing this, I just have a little bit of weight on my right hand. Okay, that's timer. So you're going to slowly come back up. And then you're going to switch sides. And again, lay down on that side. Again, your feet don't really matter in this. You're not stretching your feet. So I'm going to get the timer set. I'm going to take my left hand straight up. My right hand is going to go on the back of that hand and slowly come on down. And timer is going. Again, do not let that chest or that shoulder come up off the ground. Now, as you can probably tell in this video, my left hand has significantly more range of motion. I'm really tight in my right shoulder, so there's not a whole lot that I can gain out of that. That's why I'm doing this stretch. So hopefully, I'll have a little bit more range of motion in the next one that we do. This is even still pretty tight. And that's time right there. Slowly come on up. And switch again. So if you did that one the first time around and there was pain, I would honestly suggest to probably skip this next set. If it was more of a stretch kind of pain, quote unquote, it's perfectly fine. You can probably push through it a little bit. Do not push through pain though. If it is a stretch, perfectly fine. But if it's pain, do not push through it. Okay, get my timer and go. Nice and slow. Put a little bit more range of motion. I can already feel a little bit more range. I feel a bigger stretch. Goodness. Now this is really tight. One thing I've noticed personally is that after doing a stretch like this, because it's so tight, I almost start like getting spasms in that rear shoulder area. Couldn't really tell you exactly why that is, but I just know that that is something that I experience. Slowly come on up. That was time. Whew. That was tough. And switch again. Lie down on that side. I'm going to get the timer set. And timer is going. Slowly come on down. Yeah, I'm super close to the ground with this hand. It's crazy when you start to see your own imbalances. It becomes like very apparent that you have some tightnesses or dysfunctions. Something that once I got my corrective exercise cert, that I started noticing a lot of on myself is like, man, I have some pretty severe range of motion deficiencies from left to right. Slowly come on up. It's time right there. Okay. The next movement is going to start the active mobility movements, and we're going to start with Superman with retraction. This is a personal favorite of mine. It is, I say that lightheartedly. This is something that I should probably do more of, but of the shoulder mobility movements, this is a favorite of mine. It's all you're going to start with, lying down on the ground. Okay. Now you've probably seen Superman movements, and this is going to be somewhat similar, but there is a difference, a couple of differences. So first thing, don't do the movement yet. I'm going to coach you through it. You're going to start hands out as far as you possibly can. Next thing is you're going to lift those hands up off the ground, not your feet. That is the most common thing that people will do when they hear Superman, is that they're trying to lift feet and hands. This is just for your shoulders. Okay, so just focus on just hands. So you're going to bring those hands up, and then you're going to try to pull those hands back, almost like you're trying to touch your elbows behind your back and lift your chest up a little bit more, and then come on forward. So that's the movement. Now, another key thing is my hand and my elbow. I'm trying to lift as high as I possibly can the entire time. If you notice that your hand is starting to come down, try to lift that bad boy up. If you notice that your elbow is coming down, lift it up. Try to keep both hand and elbow up high. Okay, we're going to start now. So hands out as far as you can. You're going to lift those hands up off the ground. Pull them back. Lift. Keep on pulling. Keep on pulling. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Keep them up high. Keep them up high. And down. And we're going to repeat. Up. Back. Keep on going. Keep on going. Forward. And back. And again. Up. Back. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Forward. Keep those hands up. And down. And one more. Oh my goodness. And up. Back. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Forward. And down. Okay. And that was one set. We're going to do 2. Oh my goodness. Oh. So, as you can tell, I am fairly out of breath with that movement alone. If you're doing this right, you should be breathing difficult. I'm probably getting a little bit of a sweat just because of the room I'm in. As you can tell, there's a lot of sunlight. I'm getting pretty warm in here. This is not a movement that you should be dripping sweat with. But as you do this, you should be feeling some muscles start to get activated. Okay, do that one 5 more times, 5 more reps. So hands out in front of you. Okay, you're gonna lift, pull back, keep on pulling, hold 3, 2, 1, forward, and down, up, back, hold 3, 2, 1, forward, down, up, back, hold 3, 2, 1, forward, and down, up, back, hold 3, 2, 1, and down. One more. Up, back, hold 3, 2, 1, forward, and down. And that is it. Woo! Okay. That is probably the hardest movement Oh my goodness, that we will be doing for today. The next one is just some wall slides. Whew. Okay. Now, if you are anything like me, you just noticed that you guys needed to vacuum your floor. Perfectly fine. You can hold off. We got one more movement to do. Wall slides. You're going to come up to a wall. Okay. Typically, I do this standing up. Given that the camera is pretty low, I'm not going to do this standing up. You can do it on your knees. You can do it standing up. Either is fine. What you're going to do, you're going to put your elbows and hands against the wall. So my point of contact is my elbow and my pinky. Now you technically don't need to touch your pinky. You could probably just keep your elbows on and that'd be perfectly fine. But what you are going to do here is you're going to slowly raise up. Now, one thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to lean into the wall. I want you to stay about, pinky to thumb, about that far away from the wall the entire time that you do this motion. What you're going to be feeling is something right about here. It's close to your lats. It's called your serratus anterior. This is what we are trying to strengthen. Now, another thing is that it's almost going to pull your shoulders forward. We're kind of hoping for that, okay? But again, do not lean forward. Do not arch your back. Just try to keep your back nice and flat and keep your face from pinky to thumb distance away, okay? Arms up on the wall. We're going to come on up. Keep on going up as high as you can. Hold that. 3, 2, 1, and down. And up. Keep on going. Keep that elbow and pinky against the wall. 3, 2, 1, and down. And up. Elbow and pinky against the wall. 3, 2, 1. And up. Elbow and pinky against the wall. Keep it going. Keep it going. 3, 2, 1. We're going to do one more. I think that was 4. I don't know. And up. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Oh, man. And take a break. We're going to do one more of those. Yeah, this is definitely one that I'm getting out of breath on. Oh, man, this is a very big indication that I should probably do this way more often than I do. And if you are feeling out of breath, perfect. You're here. You're doing it. You're doing this stuff with me. So, again, like I said at the beginning, please let me know which of these movements has been your favorite. And if you have any comments or critiques, let me know in the comments. Okay? Do one last set. This is it. This is it for the day. And then I'm done torturing you. Well, technically torturing myself. Okay? So, elbows, pinkies against the wall. Come on up. Keep on going. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Up. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Down. Up. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Down. Up. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Down. Up. Hold it. Don't lose that position. 3, 2, 1. Down. One last one. Up. 3, 2, 1. And down. Oh, man. Okay. That concludes the mobility session for today. Thank you again for joining. Again, comments, critiques, anything is welcome here. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.